Do you get it now? There really is no such thing as the wrong decision.
Your fear of making the wrong decision is keeping you stuck. It is blocking your life force energy and is hindering life to bless you with all its gifts and miracles. And if you break it down, that fear isn't even real, like most fears. Because what you're actually afraid of is not making the wrong decision. It is potential failure. It is being judged by other people. It is for you to feel shitty about yourself, when you actually love feeling superior, when your ego enjoys being always on top of the game, a high achiever. But who are you if you're not that? If you put all that aside and only see the thing your soul clearly wants to experience, that experience is no more than data collection, and go from there. When I moved to Sydney, OMG, it is now almost 3 years ago. If you've watched my previous videos, you already know that I was terrified to fail, which is why I was in freeze mode and wasn't able to move at all for the longest time, until I thought to myself, the worst case scenario is already happening right now by me not moving, by me not making a change, by me staying stuck in a life and being miserable about it because I am hating it. When I finally realized that, I was able to book the flight and said to myself, look, this doesn't have to be a forever thing. So I'm only going for 4 to 6 weeks and then see whether or not I like it, whether or not it's still for me, and go from there. So I did. 2 weeks in, basically already on day 1, I knew I was gonna stay. 2 weeks in, I made it all happen. A year later, I decided to move to Melbourne and do the exact same thing. I only had a couple of months left on the visa I was on at the time. And I thought to myself, you know what? I really want to experience a different city, a different lifestyle, a different vibe. So let's just do it. If I hate it, I can come back anytime. And I'll leave for Europe, so what? And what can I say? I had the most amazing time in Melbourne. Why? Because I stayed open. I let life meet me where I was and just felt like, you know what? I really have nothing to lose, but everything to gain. I've never been here before. I just want to make great experiences. I want to meet great people. I want to see what life holds for me if I just let myself be. And only yesterday, I returned from Mexico, where I spent New Year's Eve with a couple of strangers I hadn't met in person before and experienced the most amazing time in Guadalajara with people and in a beautiful environment that made me feel most thriving and alive, because I did not have any expectations at all. Because once again, I let life flow and let it meet me where I was at. I just stayed present. I was just fully there. I enjoyed every single moment. And even though I was fully aware that things could have gone really, really bad, I also trusted myself and life enough that if they do, I can handle it. And I will figure a way out to feel good about myself again. But my very own life experience and data collection from the past years, or my entire life, has shown me that there is nothing really to be afraid of. In my life, what I truly fear is being stuck, is not living up to my potential, is not feeling alive when that is what I'm here for. Not making experiences my soul craves, my entire being wants to make, for me to learn, grow, and become. And I can say all that because I have made the experience of putting too much pressure onto myself and my dreams. I have moved to Sydney before, where I thought this was gonna be this forever thing, only to move back again 2 months later and realize that plans can change and that that's okay, and that most of the time life has even better plans than I could possibly have, because our mind is limited, and if we only live from here, we're gonna block ourselves from so many beautiful moments and memories we came to live. When I actually moved in 2018, I had made it all happen for 10 months prior. I was ready to go. Right before though, I met a guy that I deeply fell in love with, but I didn't take it seriously because I already had plans. And the plans were very different than what life was trying to give me. So I went anyways, only for him to come and see me, and us having the most amazing time for 3 weeks and falling in love even deeper and more. And then me deciding, you know what, screw this. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna go back to Germany again to be with this guy. because there was no other way for us other than me returning at the time. So I did. I went, I moved in with him straight away, and yeah, things didn't last, at least only for 2.5 years, but they were great until they weren't anymore. I made so many experiences. I gained so much through that relationship. I learned so much about myself, and I grew in so many ways, and I wouldn't want to change that, because all of that made me who I am today, allowed me to once again collect data, learn about myself, experience life and myself in new and different situations, and then use that for who I am becoming, for who I want to be, for who I am meant to be on this beautiful planet Earth. Yeah, in the end, everything worked out, but when I was putting all that pressure onto myself and thought like this was gonna be this forever thing and I'm gonna be in Australia forever, I was blocking my life force energy so much that it was basically like driving around in a car, metaphorically, while simultaneously pulling the handbrake, aka not getting anywhere. I was so focused on all the things that could go wrong and all the things I didn't want that, guess what? They happened. It was self-fulfilling prophecy. Because again, if you've watched a couple of my recent videos, then you know that when I met that German guy, I was actually still with another guy. My deepest fear was that it could not work out, and that I could be in Sydney and not enjoy it, and not be happy, and not wanting it anymore. And for this dream to not feeling like a fuck yes anymore. And exactly that happened. Exactly that happened. But again, I know it had to for me to become who I am today. So it doesn't really matter. You can put all the pressure onto yourself and you can choose not to. But trust me, when you choose not to put any pressure onto yourself and let your life energy flow through you, it's gonna be much more fun, because it's also very boring to always know what's happening next, right? Like, just imagine watching a movie and already exactly knowing what's next to come because you've watched it like a trillion times before. Like, that is boring. We are here for that experience. We are here to not know. We are here to learn and grow and fail and gain all of that experience, and especially make the memories that come with it. That is most magical and fun when we don't know what's going on. And yes, that can be terrifying for your mind, because your mind always wants to plan and know everything. But if you want an extraordinary life, you have to learn to let go of that. You will have to stay open to see what better and bigger of a plan life has for you if you also let it happen to you. Yes, you can have desires and dreams. I'm not saying that you can't and shouldn't. The last few times I did a big thing like Sydney, Melbourne, or going to Mexico last week, I of course had ideas and hopes for it. But at the same time, I did not have expectations. And I was fully aware that life happens while you are busy making plans. That's what I learned over the past couple of years especially. And they are good. They are great. They're so much better than mine could ever be. And that's why I'm trusting it now. That's why I'm trusting myself. That's why I can do these things so much more openly and with ease, and just an inner peace that allows me to enjoy the moment, be as present as possible. And every time I am that, life doesn't disappoint. And that is what makes me also far more consistent in my work, more resilient in life, and so much more fulfilled in each and every single situation, because I'm just there. I'm just being. I'm allowing, yes, I'm also doing, but I'm allowing life to be, me to become. And if you realize that you never have anything to lose, but only to gain as long as you are in it for the experience, life becomes great. Write this one down. If you are doing it for the experience rather than a particular outcome, you have already won, no matter what. Life becomes so much more enjoyable and fun and magical. And that's what you want. That's what you're here for. And that is a very powerful place to be. Not only because of everything you gain, learn, and receive, but because you're connected to source, to your life force energy. And a life led from that is divinely guided and can only be
great. Do you get it now? There really is no such thing as the wrong decision.
As long as you make sure to be aligned, every decision will be right. That is a download I received when I was in Bali 4 years ago, and it stuck with me to the day because it's so true. So if you're currently stuck in overthinking your next step, let this be your reminder. You don't need a perfect plan. You just need one honest move from truth.